Hey everyone, Willie Clark here. Welcome to another week of my YouTube show. Before you get started, I know, it's been 2 weeks again since I've been back. One of those weeks, for anyone who follows the hype and hysteria that is video games, was E3, and I was there. This was I think I went back and figured it out, my 7th E3, which is insane to think about. But yeah, so I had E3, and then last week we had some family visiting, so now I'm coming to talk to you about E3, and I'm going to try to do a Herculean task of combining a whole bunch of E3 stuff into one video. So we're going to talk about some of the games I played, we're going to talk about some of the stuff on the show floor, and let's try not to have this take 20 minutes. So here we go. First off, E3 in general. This is the first year in a long time, at least since I've been going, that E3's been open to the public. A lot of people are complaining about this, especially press, because, you know, we're kind of there to do our jobs. The more people that are in line that are there not doing their jobs, the harder it is for us to do our jobs. So it was definitely busy. I don't know if it was the busiest. I don't think it was the busiest I've ever seen E3. But this is definitely the first year, and I don't know if this was just my schedule with having appointments and interviews and things, or what, but this was definitely the first year where there were things that I wanted to play that I just did not end up having time for. And I feel like that's not something that normally happens at E3. Nintendo stuff. We know that's why. We know that's, you know, I know that's why most of you are here. Nintendo, again, didn't do an actual stage show. Me and Will from 8-Bit Awesome, we'll have our podcast up talking about all the E3 stuff soon. We did go to the Sony one the night before. Did not go to Microsoft this year. But yes, the Nintendo show. Not live, like in like everyone else does, not like they used to do. Another spotlight, they called it this year instead of a direct, which a lot of people were flipping out about. I think people were flipping out about it for no reason. They just changed nomenclature. Anyways, overall, I'm not going to sit here and break through all the bullet points of the news because it's 2 weeks old at this point. Overall, though, Nintendo had a better than expected showing at E3, but that was because, you know, the ceiling, or the ceiling that's down here, the floor was really, really low. No, the ceiling was low. God, yeah, the ceiling was low. Because the floor is right below it. Floor, ceiling. The ceiling was low. They had said they were just going to focus on things just for 2017. They did talk about some things for 2018, you know, they did throw out, here's Metroid Prime 4, this is the logo. You know, they announced another, a 3DS Metroid game. 3DS actually, you know, I think they've said now they're going to keep doing stuff for the 3DS through, you know, 2018 and beyond. New Kirby game, which has power-ups combining, which I don't actually think I've talked about my love of Kirby or of Kirby 64 on the YouTube yet. On the YouTube as the kids call it. Power-up combining is something that was one of the reasons, if not the reason, Kirby 64 is still probably my favorite Kirby game. So it's nice we're seeing that back. As far as teasing their poker hand for 2018, Kirby and Yoshi, you know, that's not going to light the world on fire. But they did show off Mario, which I actually got to play, and I'm going to post links in the comment, or in the, you know, the below here section, of all my hands-on stuff for the next few games I'm going to talk about. Super Mario Odyssey, we got to hear went from, you know, the originally, wait, the singing in Mario to the, yeah, I kind of dig the singing in Mario song. They showed off Cappy, which, actually, oh, my Mario hat is somewhere behind me in the background there. I'm trying to duck, use my reflection in the lens, so it shows up on my head. I don't think this is quite working. Super Mario Odyssey, some of that stuff very reminiscent of Bowser's Revenge in Banjo-Tooie, which was a cup mode that allowed the second player to control Bottles as a devil, mad at Banjo, could control the enemies. Got to play Super Mario Odyssey. It's good, you know, I'm definitely excited about it. I wasn't quite, there were a few, you know, Mario felt a little slippery, you know, a few nitpicky things here and there, and I'm still just trying to get a grasp of a sense of what the worlds and levels are actually going to feel like. You know, some of this has come out, I think it was a Kotaku article afterwards, saying that, you know, there might be like 20 or 30 moons in a level, which is a lot, and, you know, that there's going to be more moons than ever to collect, but Odyssey also kind of feels like it's throwing moons at you left and right. And it doesn't, like, Nintendo is saying this is following right in, in the legacy of Mario 64 and 3D platformers. And 3D platformers are my jam, and I have a high bar for them. So we'll see. We'll see as it gets closer. And it's also coming out in October, not November, which is interesting for their big. I'm guessing it might be because of the Day of the Dead stuff they're doing, but who knows? Second game I'm going to talk about, another Nintendo one, another Mario game, Mario and Rabbids. There are some things in this world that I really, really hate. Minions, Funko Pops. I don't know if it's fair for me to put the Rabbids in that same company, but I'm pretty sure the Rabbids is something that I have often from time to time over the years just shat on for no reason. I've never played the Rabbids games, I've just never liked them. I'm in, I'm Mario and Rabbids, tactical RPG, Grant Kirkhope composing. I only got to play a little bit of it, and, there are some things that, in the demo at least, it looked like we wouldn't be able to do, like see enemy line of sight, which is kind of important for tactical games. But, I mean, this is something that's leaked since last year, and actually, I'm pretty sure you could go back and find a podcast recording where I'm like, why in the world did Nintendo let Ubisoft take Mario for the Rabbids instead of any of their, like, D-list franchises? But it's working so far, and it's, it could be good. We'll see. It's not garbage. And, yeah. Could be an interesting one. I'm a big tactical RPG fan as well. Mario's never been in a tactical game before, so I'm keeping an eye on it. Let's put it like that. Speaking of RPGs, Ni No Kuni 2. Ni No Kuni 1 was one of those games that I think I played it. It was either last summer or the summer before. I played it like right after E3 actually. That year I sat and played it for a while. This is the game that one of my friends walks into the room and goes, "Whoa, like what movie are you watching?" And it's actually a game. The first one had Studio Ghibli involved. Obviously they're not involved in this one, but the composer's still the same, so we still have the the Ghibli sound, and a former Ghibli guy is coming, is doing work on this as well. So it still feels very Ghibli-esque. I wasn't a huge fan of the first game. I never really liked its battle system. There were a lot of problems with the game overall. So the good news in that regard is they've completely shifted battle systems. The familiars are completely gone, which I think some people are going to have mixed feelings about. And instead, it almost reminded me of Kingdom Hearts. It's very like fast-paced, button-mashy, definitely leaning towards the action side of the action RPG, spectrum here. But that could be good. It's kind of too early to tell. Over the course of an entire game, combat like that can get very not good. So we'll see. Not entirely sure how to feel about it yet. I think I'm slightly more positive on it. I was reading some other people's previews and just seeing some stuff on Twitter. And the press seemed very down on it so far. And I definitely think I'm more positive on it than other people are. But we'll see. It's changing a lot. They've added in these little weird, like, Pikmin-like characters that work in the battlefield, so we're just going to have to see how all that stuff shapes up. But, anyways, there we go. I did it. I crammed a lot of E3 stuff, a lot of hands-on stuff into one little video. Keep coming back. I do want to make kind of a house cleaning announcement. July is going to be very, very busy. I've got my sister's wedding I'm going off to, and I've also got Comic-Con, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be doing, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be doing some Comic-Con videos of some kind, but we might have a couple of sporadic weeks here in July as I'm traveling and running around. But yeah, thank you for listening. Let me know if there's any other E3 things you want my thoughts on. Make sure to click below to check out the full text of my articles, and we'll also be having some podcasts come out too with more discussion and not just me talking to a camera with people listening. But yeah, that's E3. Happens every year. Have a good week, everybody. Talk to you soon.